Hello, Hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao, Namaste. Peace to all. This is Soulology, the science of the soul. And this is part two of the unnatural, the unnatural of anger and rage. We're going to talk more about rage. What is rage? Rage is uncontrollable, violent anger. We were talking about anger and how it's an annoyance, but now we're talking about rage, the fury, the anger, and more. Why rage is so unnatural is simply for the exact fact of that, the violence it causes. People do a lot of things they may either regret or feel guilty of because they were enraged. It's unnatural because of the simple fact that it only causes more violence and cruelty to someone due to that person's high level of anger. And this isn't ordinary anger, this is a higher level of anger that can cause a lot of damage to someone. Some people have caused wars because of this. When you look at different countries, when you have different politicians who might have a speech about a certain other country, again, which none of these are even important to begin with, but you see more people become enraged and wanting to harm that area. In harming it, it causes more damage to the whole. The whole being you. You see, the other thing of what it causes as the whole is many people will create an enemy out of anything. It could be what we would call a devil. It could be what we call cults. It could be about race. It could be about finance. Whatever it is, we make that and use that energy to enrage people, that to find that there is an enemy among us that is harming us. And by using that energy, we focus on creating hatred amongst each other. And the funny thing is, among each other, you're only causing hatred to yourself, and anger to yourself, enraged anger. By doing this, it's just kind of like the thumbnail app. You become what we would call a world breaker. Hulk. By causing this damage and not realizing, because you have to remember, we don't even remember who we are. But that is okay, because that's the name of the game to begin with. And this is why we're helping lift everybody up. But by being enraged and harming other people, it does nothing but more damage to other people, thus doing damage to the self. And by doing damage to the self, which is you or I individually, you are bringing that same harm and fear towards you, creating another unnatural emotion we talked about earlier, panic. This is why it is unnatural, why it is not a part of the evolved state of who you truly are. And growing who you truly are as a person. When we talk about the Hulk, for instance, mere things could set him off. There was a comic I read years ago about World War Hulk. He was enraged. He went to a different planet, had a wife and everything, came back to the planet to end the lives of other people. And when he understood the situation of what really happened, that one of his own servants had caused all this, which, when he was on the other planet, there was a bomb that went off in the ship. When the servant had told him this, he only became more enraged, to the point where he almost destroyed the world. Why is this important? Because of us being enraged, we have the capacity to literally destroy the world by the way we act. But it is also our choice to save it. What do I think personally? I honestly choose that it will be just fine and we will save it. Our enragement is what causes so much conflict amongst each other instead of working amongst each other to help all. Being enraged will not help you in any way. It will end up just simply making you a world war or world breaker Hulk, instead of finding who you truly are. Because anger is important to you, and it's quite healthy, because as you grow and understand anger, you are less likely to get angry about certain things because now you understand. And there's a time and a place to be angry. And anger is simply fear in action. And fear, again, is another natural emotion of who you are. And expressing that is in your best interest because it helps grow you and gives you an insight of yourself, of who you truly are, instead of what anyone tells you you are. Because what most people do not recognize about the world is we are constantly manipulated by everything, propaganda, the media, and everything, which allows us in the first place to be enraged about something that has nothing to do with you. Love, peace, happiness. The beauty of who you are. The soul itself is not about rage. It is of God. And God is love. The creator, actually, is love. And being that the case, you are love. You are not what people have told you. And the thing that most people won't tell you, and we'll get more into that in another video, is there's nothing you need to do. There would be no reason to be enraged about something if you understood that there's nothing you need to do in the first place. We believe there is something we have to do because of the fact that we're persuaded that if someone tells us, we'll do it. And in showing your highest form and pushing and caring for people about that instead of growing hatred, you can change this world in ways you never knew possible. And finding the God, the goddess, and creator within. And just to everybody out there, my question to you is, how are you going to stop the anger, the enraged, the rage that is going around, no matter where you are? How are you willing to stop the rage within you, with your everyday life, of certain things that are on the TV screen or things you just hear? How are you willing to go about that? Me personally, I go by being peace and meditating and exercising and, of course, my health. But the question is, what will you do about it? And leave a like and a comment, because I really want to hear people's thoughts about this. And to everybody out there, if this does resonate with you, then subscribe. But just know you're amazing, beautiful people. And just simply have a good morning, a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. Namaste.